I think you'll find that a lot of law enforcement is not against the change. You know, that's what reform is change. But we weren't invited to the meetings, and so we weren't at the dinner table because we were on the menu. And I think if we were and had good listening conversations, that the change would have gone in the right direction. The drug laws were a really tough pill to swallow, especially compounded by our jail conditions. And I can tell you a story real quick. Backed up an officer. We had a young family in one of our parks trying to use our parks, and the young boy of the family went to use the restroom and opened the door, and there's a guy in there actively using intravenous drugs. So the mom calls police. We get there. And sure enough, there's this guy, and he's got drugs. But when they jumped the gun with this Blake decision and without setting up the program, and we were supposed to track to be able to have 2 diversions prior to a citation. You can't even take them into custody at that point. But there was no tracking mechanism, and so we had to try and invent our own on the fly, just with our own records management system, without knowing what the parameters were to track. Come to find out, we'd never dealt with this guy before for drugs, so we couldn't charge him with any drugs. We had to just hand him a pamphlet and said, hey, we know you're an addict, and even though other states have tried this and there's less than a 1% success rate, you know, here's a number to call if you feel like you can use some help. We run the gentleman's information. He had 4 active felony warrants. Called into the jail. Jail was full. We had to send this guy walking down the road right in front of this family that felt victimized by this situation, looking at us as if to say, why aren't you doing anything? Well, our hands are tied. There was literally nothing we could do, and he's now walking amongst the people in the park that just called in on him. Do you think they felt safe? No. They left the park, and I doubt they'd ever go back to that park, or at least for a while anyway.